Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this call. It is the 10th of October, and it used to be Kruger Day. In the old days, it used to be a public holiday. And I know as a law boy student at Tux, I had to go wash the Kruger Monument twice on the 10th of October. And every time we had rain, I am in Pretoria. It did not look like we're going to have some rain today, which will be a pity, because there's a saying in Pretoria, it must rain on Kruger Day. It is Marius Adams' birthday, so every one of you who are used to us on Crypto Talk, the team, Marius is always with us. Tonight he is not. He's out with his lovely wife on a date night for his birthday, and we wish him well and a prosperous year, celebrating his birthday tonight. We will not be joined by Marius, so we've given him the evening off to go and enjoy his lovely wife with regards to his birthday. With that said, I need to get to my other two co-hosts here tonight. My apology, I'm just running through my screen here. And as I said earlier, and as we have seen tonight, is everything is about the 10th of October. This is a critical week for crypto. It is an over or maybe an understatement, because this is not just a critical week for crypto. It is a critical week for financial markets. It's a critical week with regards to a lot of stuff in this world. A lot of stuff is not right in this world. A lot of stuff is not right in our financial system in the world at the moment. Europe is hit very hard. UK barely survive at the moment financially. And then we have the conflict between Ukraine and Russia, which is now getting out of hand. And they're now playing you hit my breach, I hit your breach. And it's terrible. I'm not making light of it. The people suffering, it's not cool. I'm prayerfully for those people that's affected there. But it is something that's happening in this time. And it's not good, because it creates a lot of conflict in the world. It creates a lot of conflict with regards to what people have to endure. And there's a crisis in electricity supply and energy supply in Europe, all because of what's happening in Russia. And it's now spilling over to every other area. And so tonight we would just like to go visit the charts and go see what's happening in the charts, and go and maybe highlight one or two little things that we should highlight for you. And I'm going to just quickly show you here on my screen. I have my Bitcoin screen on there, and that's where Bitcoin is coming from. And this was on the 9th of November 2021. That's the 9th of November 2021 that we have there. And this is where we at the moment. And I'm just my apology, I don't want you to get seasick. I know it's not cool if you do this while people are on the screen, but I just want to show you what this chart is saying to me tonight, because this is where we're at. Look at this fall, and we know we had different serious things working on. We had the start of the war in the Ukraine, then we had the lunar crisis, and subsequently the crisis with the smart contract companies. But this is where Bitcoin is at the moment. And what I want to show you here is purely, if we go look at this chart, and we see there is the November, sorry, let me just go this. That's November 2020. That's November 2020. That's November 2020. And these are all support lines now, which were at that stage very serious support or resistance. And we are sitting on top of November and December of 2020. So we're back at December and November 2020. And if we go look at the chart, we'll see that there's a December resistance now at 2476, another resistance at 22.7, another resistance at 25, and it's not. So let me just share screen. I see people are complaining about my focus. Let me share screen with you, and I assume the focus is a lot better now. My apology. And so if we go look at all these support lines here are from November 2020, December 20. So we're sitting on a support line that's coming through from December 20. And we can see that support line here was close on it a few times just now recently. There again, it was on it before we had that spike. There again, it was on it. And we're sitting on that line. And my apology for this little line here. Maybe I can delete that because it's just too much now. But the key is we have resistance ahead. But I want to just one moment notice this little liquidity area, because there's uncaptured liquidity in that area. There's liquidity to be captured in that area, and we need to get there. But there again, we have the same there as well if we go look at this. But there is liquidity in that area, and we will have to go and find and get back there. So I can see us going to pass through this 20,400 resistance line there. Once we go up, we will pass through that. But the problem is, at the moment, we're barely holding this 19,213 that's coming from as support from December 2020. And yeah, I'm not the chartist, Jason or Andre, but I love my charts and I love doing my little bit with regards to the charts. And it is just one of those things. We need to go and revisit this. And allow me to introduce to you, I see Jason is out. Jason has got electricity problems in the area, in the street, and the electrician just arrived. So he's been without electricity for most of the day, and the electrician just arrived. I'm going to ask Phip Smith to just jump in and add my apology. Let me just get out of that screen. My apology, I did not see that I was still on that screen. Please accept my apology. Andre, what do you see? What do you say? Where are we with regards to Bitcoin? Let's just for one little moment stay with Bitcoin or with what's happening in the market at the moment. I've got an email that I will open later and just discuss one or two points that I've seen on an email that drawn my attention for where we at the moment. But Andre, welcome back. I trust that you had a good youth camp and teenagers camp. Thank you for being back with us tonight.
Yeah, thanks from Donnie. Yeah, it was really successful. I'm still tired, so yeah, excuse if my English is not so good tonight. But yeah, I'm really excited, and I'll just start off by sharing my screen. Last time I was here, I spoke about this trend line here. You can see this on the weekly, and we are at that edge here. We are waiting for this breakout, so I'm expecting some nice action here when we break through, and we can even check that on the daily. So you can see we are just on this verge of breaking through. So I'm really excited about that. And again, I still have my orders lower, but personally, I just have too much data, too much history of the charts showing to me that is the bottom and that bottom is already in. So for me, I'm bullish. I'm bullish with the market. I think the bottom is already in. Now, there's a lot of people that say we don't know what's going to happen with Russia or whatever is going to happen with the economy, because the economy isn't so good. So that stuff you can call that a black swan event, and it can maybe bring us down and get us to these orders. But for me, if I look at TA and what happened in the back history, I personally think this bottom is already in. And I shared this view the last time I was here. So yeah, I'm really bullish. I think the bottom is already in. And everybody's talking about the Dixie, how the Dixie has been just going on and on. And I saw that most of the guys out there is saying that no, the top should be in for the Dixie, so we should see the dollar going down. And I mean, if we even like for us in South Africa, if we look what is the dollar against the South African rand, you can see this channel. Wait, let me just delete this line and excuse all of the messy charts. But you can see this channel, we have been forming this channel and respecting this channel for a long time. And we are almost at the edge, at the top of this channel. And that makes sense for us to see a little bit of a drawdown back to this bottom. It is good to take profit now, but most of the guys probably doesn't have any profit to take. So yeah, it's good to get at the low. And while we are speaking about this, guys, and I've been doing this, well, I've been trying to do this for the past few months and really try to dollar cost average. And I spoke about this the other day. Like for me, I still have a job, and I try to, for instance, stuff like my car has to get tires. I know my car has to get tires one or the other time, and I just take a small amount each month and I just put that into crypto. So I EFT to altcoin trader, put a small amount of buy a small amount of Bitcoin, buy a small amount of Ethereum. And then, like we shared like a million times, our strategy goes. So I just take half of that, buy Bitcoin now, buy Ethereum now, doesn't care about the price, and then put a price, for instance, 10% lower. And then 2 weeks later, if the order doesn't get filled, cancel it and buy now. And I really think that is the best way to invest in this crypto market. And yeah, so I'm really excited. And there's actually, unless you want to share something else, there's a nice indicator that actually, if you are charting. So I don't know if you want me to say something about the market more, but there's something I actually want to share.
You can go. Allow me to, while you grab your chart, allow me to share screen just 1 second, but I don't know if you can stop your. Cool, you can, after all. Okay, sorry, I just need to get that to gallery view again. Otherwise, we're not assisting the people on the Facebook feed. But I just want to share this because I've picked this up and I've been looking at the dollar for some time, and I'm just on the 1 hour. This is the interesting part. And I've got this had this line in here until 1 o'clock on today, and on the 1 hour. But then we broke this line. And I'm looking at this with bated breath because I have a few people that are looking for dollars and they're trying to get in the little bit of dollars that they have from the little bit of crypto they sold that they have to get into the market. And there's definitely something happening. And I know Jason will say something about that later. But yeah, and I know 1 hour chart is not a good chart to look at, but that was just the best way of seeing that. That's what it looked like on the 4 hour chart. So there is something happening in the rand, with the rand against the US dollar. But then again, the rand, I can recall that just the day or 3 days ago, it was, let me just quickly see that, it was significantly higher. There we are on the 28th of September. We were where we at now, exactly where we turned today, 1821. But I know that there were transactions that were done higher than that. But 1821 to the dollar, that is significant. Andre, over to you.
Cool. Yeah, so something interesting, and I like for me, investing is boring. So I like trading and scalping and stuff like that. So there's actually a thread that I found on Twitter, and I want to share this with you. And this is really, really interesting. So I don't know, well, before I'll show you guys. So I don't know if you guys know, but like with obviously the forex markets and stuff like that, they have different time zones where the market is open and where the market closes. So where they can't like trade, for instance, at a certain time period, or even over weekends they can't. So I found an indicator which shows you when is the Tokyo market open, when is the London market open, when is the New York market open. So you can see here where the box starts. That is when the Tokyo market opens. When the box ends, it's where it closes. So it's the same with London. There it closes. New York, there it opens, there it closes. And it's really interesting. So let's quickly show this. So this Crypto Nouveau says most traders here lose money and most of them don't know anything about the market sessions. It's crazy that we have the same price action every single week and most people can't see it. This should be basic knowledge and one of the first things you learn. And I'm just going to skip through quickly. So here it says, so usually this is the market repeats the same patterns. So like, for instance, one setup could be Asia holds. So if you open this, you can see there, Asia holds, and then London dumps or London pumps. Yes. Mm-hmm. So it dumps or pumps, and then New York reverses. So you can see there, Asia holds, London pumps, there New York dumps. There Asia holds again, London pumps, New York dumps again. That's really interesting. And here's another combination where Asia dumps. The previous one, Asia just held it, but this time Asia holds, London, this time Asia dumps, London holds, and then New York reverses again. Look there, Asia holds, London held it as well, and then New York pumps. But you can see here there's definitely a significant move once that market session opens and the next one starts again. So this is really interesting. You can see there, you can see the same pattern every day this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And this says this doesn't apply to the weekend or bank holidays because the exchanges are closed. So this is for forex markets. So I tested it a bit on crypto and it is really fascinating. I haven't backtested it a lot with setups and stuff, but I really do see the patterns, just like I can see the moves when the different market sessions opens and closes. So again, I just want to quickly show you guys. So the name of this indicator is FX Market Sessions. Wait, let me just show it to you guys here. There were indicators, FX Market Sessions, that one from Boyd Toki. And it's really, yeah, just go play around with this. You can see it's really interesting. But anyways, I see Jason is back. Yeah, just the thread just goes on and just shows you a few stuff. But yeah, I really want to back this a bit, and it definitely makes sense. So yeah.
Cool. Thank you, Andre. And thank you for jumping in there while Jason had to go and sort. Jason, I trust that you have now sorted your electricity, that you have some kind of electricity going, and that you have some good news.
Good evening, everybody. Yeah, so apologies about that. No power at the moment. I've got the electricians just outside my property, just trying to sort everything. So I'll be on here for a few minutes and unfortunately I must go again. So I'll just go through quickly how we're sitting. And a week ago was around about the 3rd. This is on the weekly. Let me just go to the daily here. So 3rd of October, down the bottom here, pretty much the same price where we are currently. And then we moved up on the Tuesday and the Wednesday back up into the resistance area of 20,500. And you can see that this resistance area up the top here has been very strong resistance since the end of August. And we've been trending in this range between the support down here of 18.5 up to 20,300 up and down. But what is more important here is that I've got a resistance line connecting this high here of the 15th of August, and then the second high of 13th September coming down. And I've got this yellow support line, and this yellow support line was actually holding, there's our power back on again. It was holding support until this morning and is now broken down to the downside, just out of support. It can come back inside again, so we are hoping that will take place, but we've broken this yellow support line at the moment. Johnny, sorry, I'm going to have to come back again. I just want to go see these electricians. They've just fixed up the power. Power's come back on.
No problem, Jason.
I'll be back on now again, okay?
No problem. You run. Thanks, buddy. Sorry, let me just stop sharing Jason's computer. Fortunately, I can do that from my side without him being on the call. And thank you for that thread that you put in the chat box, Andre. I was now looking for Fib Smith, so I realized that your name is actually Andre. Thank you for that thread, Andre. I will definitely go try and find that. It was interesting what you showed there. And you had something else that you wanted to show before you saw that Jason is...
Yeah, I can just share. Here's another reason why I also think the bottom is in. And this is an indicator EMC algo buy and sell range. And this is on the weekly. So if you go back, wait, let me just do this. Okay. So if you go back, so the boxes at the top, that is sell boxes. The boxes at the bottom is buy boxes. So this is the first time ever, and this is on the BLX chart, the Bravecoin index. So this is the first time ever there was a buy box. And you can see here, the low was already in. And this just supports the previous analysis that I shared the other day. So you can see there the buy was already in there. Okay, and if you go on, there was a second buy box, and there was where the low already was in. And then if you go on to where we are at now, you can see there is the buy box, and if I'm correct, then the low is already in. So this just supports so you can do with this what you want. This is really exciting to me. I just want to see, I just have so many different charts. But there's one I want to show you guys. Was it that one? I'm just going to stop my screen share, but I just want to show something else. And this is regard when to take profit. And that is obvious. Oh, here it is. And you guys have heard me speaking about the Chico Crypto. It's an interesting little guy and he says, and this is really true. So most of the times people don't take profit. They just don't take profit. They forget about the profit, and then they think the market's going to go on, and then they just lose all of that profit on the table. So this is what he's going to do. So he still has all of his Bitcoin, And so what he's going to do is he's going to take 5% at 50,000. If the rally is on, he's going to take 5% of his whole portfolio and take profit at 50k. And then 5% again at 60k, 5% at 70k. Once it's at 80k, he's going to take 10%, so that he constantly takes actually dollar cost averages out of the market. And he's going to 10. When it gets to 110,000, he's going to take 5%, 125%, 135%, 145%, and so on until he almost has nothing left. And yeah, just again, guys, one thing I want to show you guys, and let's just take all of this stuff out. I remember when we had this dump here. When we had this dump, I was like sitting, I felt really great. I felt like a genius because I took profit and I didn't buy back. I only started thinking about buying crypto once we were at this stage here. And then we basically missed this move. And I was still afraid of the move, so I didn't really do anything. So I missed all of this opportunity at this stage. And I missed this whole move. And I just want to say, don't let that happen again and just start, because most of the retailers, they're probably going to start buyback here at 46,000, 50,000, and then you already missed this whole move and the institutions is already taking profit. So just remember that, again, we should actually buy the fear and sell the greed, not the other way around. And obviously it feels a lot comfortable buying at this area here because the market is going up. And my personal sentiment is, Jason, my personal sentiment is actually that the low is already in for this year. But yeah, guys, don't let the market override what your emotions should feel or what you currently are feeling. And like I said, I really try to dollar cost average with like money for even my car's tires and stuff like that, because yeah, why not?
Thank you, Andre. Jason, buddy, if you have to do something, you're really welcome to run.
Sorted. Thanks very much. So just going back to my Bitcoin chart, we unfortunately broken that yellow support line earlier today, but I'm not too worried about it right now. What we need to hold is this green support here at the bottom here at 18,700 or so. This has now been a very big support all the way from June coming across here. And then obviously we've got the resistance to the upside. So we're in this range, trending sideways, no clear direction at the moment. We are getting very close to this white resistance line, as I indicated, that has touched a few times. We are a few days out of that, so we're not too sure what is going to transpire once we get to this white line. Are we going to see a break to the upside out of that? Nobody's unfortunately got a crystal ball. It's all waiting game now to see what actually happens once we get there. So that is as far as Bitcoin is concerned. If we go now across and go and have a look at the drivers of the stock market and also the crypto market, is the dollar index, the DXY. And if we put that onto the daily there, you can see we've been in a very steep uptrend from February this year as the interest rates started going up, and the dollar's got stronger over time, and it's really accelerated now the last couple of weeks. It did get rejected at this area around about 115. It has come down after that rejection, and we have gone up again. We are in an area of resistance at the moment, and it is still unclear whether we have come up here to do a classic Wall Street cheat sheet where you come up to the complacency, normally at about 0.71. You can see that we've got the first red candle at the moment there in this area. I'm not sure if we're going to get rejected there and come down again, or whether this is going to carry on trending up. It's still early days, so we just have to keep an eye, see what transpires there. The other driver is the bond market, but the bond market in the US is actually closed today. There is a massive green candle here, but don't take any notice. You can see that there was Friday's candle here. Let me just delete this. Friday's candle here, and then this afternoon's candle here. Don't take any notice of that. But we're in the area of resistance at the moment, around about 4%, and that actually goes back into history, right back into 2008, I think, somewhere around then. Let me just have a look here. Yeah, it was in this area here, 2008 to 2010, where this 4% acted as very strong resistance, and we are in that area right now. So we're hoping for a rejection here and for 10-year yield to start dropping also, or at least go sideways. We can't have the scenario where it's spiking up like it has been. Now, getting to the S&P, the S&P has, in June, came down to this pink line here of 3640 on the 16th of June. And at that stage, the ECB, the European Central Bank, and the Fed, the ECB announced that they are putting money back into the market, and they actually pushed up this market right to the middle of August. And since then, there's been a steep downtrend. And we are pretty much come back to where we started in the middle of June. Today has dropped slightly below that number, but it's more or less in the same sort of area where we are now. Now, the stock market, we can't see the stock market drop any further. If we do drop from here, we are going to come down and possibly test the pre-COVID high support of February 2020 at around about 390. Could even come down here, down to the bottom here. And that would unfortunately drive the crypto market down with it too. So the stock market's really on a knife's edge at the moment. Very unclear exactly what's going to happen. And it's all stemming around this DXY and the 10-year yield to exactly what they're going to be doing. And Dow Jones also come down. It is now quite a bit lower than the June low. There was a June low of 29677, and it's come down now to 28739. So it's a bit lower than where we were in June. Really are at a crossroads at the moment. We know that September is not a very good month for trading. If we go back into the past years, even in bull markets, June has been very poor. But October and November have always traditionally been very good months for trading. So we're hoping for a relief bounce in the last sort of 3 weeks of October, just to push the markets back up again. That's what we're hoping. But there's no clear signs right now that's going to take place. So that is regarding stock markets. Let's just have a quickly look at the total market cap. This morning we were on this 900 billion support, and you can see there we're just below it. We can still say that we're on that 900 billion. We don't want to lose this 900 billion. It's been very strong support in the past. But if we do drop that, it's going to come down to this 850. That's the next support below there. And if we just go and have a look at where we were in June, we were down here at that 850 with that spike that came all the way down to 763. So we're still higher than where we were in June, slightly, but we really are just holding on at the moment here. This time, total 2, that excludes Bitcoin, and that is also in a rising wedge pattern. And see, try to break to the downside there, but the support here of 527 is still acting as support, luckily. And total 3 is in a sort of a bearish pennant, entry from the top. And you can see that the 365 billion is acted as support once again and pushed it back in again. Okay, the USDT, now this chart indicates whether money's flowing into stable coins or flowing into the trading market. And you can see that we are in an area of resistance here. This whole area here in July was acting as resistance. And you can see once again, we're in an area of resistance here. Don't want to see a breakthrough this level here of that 7.9% to the upside, because that's going to mean more money straight now into these stable coins. But it's funny how this previous white support line from April is now acting as resistance. And we've hit this resistance a few times now, 3 or 4 times. And the more that you push against the resistance, the easier it becomes to actually break through. But nonetheless, the important piece here is this red block here at the moment on USDT. When we have a look at Ethereum, Ethereum is in a bearish. Okay, let me just first of all go to the weekly. We're still in this white channel from November last year, massive white channel. And within that white channel is another white channel. And right now, we are actually in a bearish pennant with Ethereum. Entrance from the top, come down, and we're going sideways here. The 200 moving average weekly seems to be holding very strong support for Ethereum. But we're very close to the end of this pennant. And normally, at about 75%, it normally makes a decision which way it wants to go. If we do break to the upside here, first resistance is going to be 1.4 up to 1.441. And then we got this massive white resistance line that comes from August this year, August and September. And that'll be the next resistance to the upside, that white line there. So there's a whole lot of resistance here if Ethereum does break to the upside out of here. To the downside, we've got this 200 moving average on the weekly at 1283. And then 1250, and then 12 below that is, we've got support there. So it's all really a waiting game at the moment, unfortunately, around crypto. No clear direction at the moment. And it is becoming very frustrating for a lot of people. We have seen some nice movements in some of these altcoins over the last week. Ethereum, okay, so Ethereum has retraced, sorry, XRP. XRP has retraced slightly today. XRP made a move of about 25% from last week, Monday to yesterday, which was quite nice. Stellar works with XRP. That also had quite a nice move. And then we've got this other coins here in the top 100, EGLD, we know that 13%, CSPR 21, Maker 20, CVX. If we have a look at Binance, there was actually a lot more greens this morning when we had a look at this. We got Binance, Sushi 25, MDX 44, Maker again, UTK, okay. And then if we have a look at KuCoin, they carry a lot of the micro altcoins. And we've got some coins that are over 100% here, Meta, Toko, KOK, and then we go down to XTB. So amongst the market of Bitcoin and Ethereum that are going sideways, there is some of these altcoins that have been moving quite nicely. I am keeping an eye on XRP. The reason why I'm looking at XRP is that it's from June, it was in this bearish pennant where we trended sideways from the beginning of June right to the 19th of December. And with this bearish pennant, there's a 68% chance of a continuation to the downside, but there's also 38% chance of breaks to the upside. And XRP managed to break to the upside here. And what's very important here is this orange line comes from 18 months ago, right from April last year, and it's broken through that line. And we came down and retested this level last week, Monday, down at 44 cents. And we moved right up to 55 cents in 7 days, and that gives us that 25% move there. So I'm looking at XRP as it might retrace, come down to test the support of 50 cents, and then go up, and the next resistance at 60 and then at 75. So I'm watching this very closely. If it comes down to 50, I might put a trade in, and that obviously also depends on what Bitcoin and stock market's doing at the time. But we do have a nice support line that comes all the way down from, I think I did it a bit early. There's a bit of a support line that we got here that it is honoring at the moment, give or take. I'm watching this very closely, XRP. And then XLM works parallel with XRP, and it's an old 2017 coin, and you can see Stellar has been an uptrend here, sure, since 7th of September, really. Come from 10 cents, and yesterday we had 13 cents again. 13 cents is a very strong resistance, and see it's tried to get through in June, August, and now again in October. So I would only enter a trade once you break through this 13 cents level, come back and retest this as now support. I don't think I'll be entering that too quickly. The real stars have been Atom. Atom has, from June, has moved up from $6 and is currently trading at $12.80. And you can see there it got a double bottom on the 2nd of October. We did break out, but unfortunately it has retraced back down again. So that is one of the stars, and the other one is QNT. QNT has come all the way from $40 in June right up to 156. So it's done a 4x over this last couple of months, currently at 160. And the coin was launched in July last year, and we went up to 430 in September, came all the way down to 40, and now we're back at 160. And it's looking very strong, this QNT. It's quite an expensive coin, but you know what? It seems to be doing quite well in this bearish market. And I think that's really what I've seen here out of these altcoins in the last week. They perform quite nicely. The last thing that I wanted to look at, and it's something that I had a look at this morning. What I did was I took a current market versus the market that we had here in 2018, and just did a quick comparison just to have a look at if we see any sort of fractals that are looking similar. And I know that we can't go by fractals to get an idea what the market's going to do in the future, but it's funny how it is looking very similar to what we had here in 2018. So this was September, October, November. And if we take the current market and just switch off these and just have a look at, let me just try and line up these dates here. I don't know if this means anything, but in 2018, in July, we had high of 8326, and then trended down, went up, similar to what we've seen here. And then we came along, we did come down, had a spike up, and then the major drop was in the middle of November. We went from 6,200 all the way down to 3,000, below 3,000, 3,200. And that gave the 84% retracement. Now, most bear markets from the previous bull market all-time high is normally between 84 and 86% retracements, and that's what brought us at 84%. But prior to the drop here in November, we were sitting at a retracement of 72%. Now, if you take our high here in November of 68,800 and you minus 72%, that is exactly where we are now. So the question is, are we going to drop now down to the 84% at 10,400? Will that take place? We're not too sure at the moment, but it's fascinating to see how similar this last couple of months have been in both of the markets. Okay. Donnie, I don't know if you want to add anything there.
No, I'm happy. Thanks, Jason.
Yeah, so just to recap, pretty much in a range, no clear indication, getting very close to decision time, I think. I think it'll be this week. Are we going to break out of this white line to the upside, go retest higher levels, or are we going to come down, manage to find support here once again, 18,500? So those are the two sort of scenarios that we need to look at as far as Bitcoin is concerned. The stock market is really hinging on what we see with the DXY has moved up again over the last couple of days. We're not too sure whether we're looking at complacency like on Wall Street cheat sheet, that price is going to get rejected at the 70% level and come back down, or is DXY going to carry on trending up? 10-year yield is actually closed today. The bond market's closed, but let's have a look tomorrow. We're in a major area of resistance here. Are we going to get rejected and come down? And then that is obviously driving the stock market, and stock market is looking very weak at the moment. We are trying to hold on to these June lows. Dow Jones has already seemed to have lost it, and S&P is just hanging on there at the moment. So not looking too good at the moment. We're thinking around what's happened in the previous years. October has always been a good month for trading. Going into November has always been good. We've got the midterm elections on the 8th of November. We're hoping for a bit of upside now in the next couple of weeks.
Cool. Well done. Thank you, Jason. And as always, you have the ability to show the market as if it's the easiest thing to show people. And thank you for that. I would like to just share something that I found interesting today. And I'm on an email from CoinStats. And I have to show this. Algo is up 24%. So Algo, remember, Algo is very much part of the new stablecoin, the whole new set of stablecoins. And Algo is very much part of that. And I see that they have various contracts with banks, and that the stablecoin USDC is very close to Algo, and a huge amount of money into that. So look at that. But what I wanted to show you is just two little pieces of info from this newsfeed, and that is the Nasdaq Global Equity Market Operator to launch a crypto service after regulatory approval. So the Nasdaq will have crypto service, and X has got in talks to raise 1 billion at the valuation of 32 billion of FTX. So crypto companies are still doing well, still doing good business. There's still space. And if you just read the info here, space, venture capital is 250 million raised, 300 million raised by DTCP in Europe. Yes, there's still a lot of stuff happening. Remember, the state of the market, the price in the market never affects the companies busy building, the ecosystems busy building, the coins in the background, the projects in the background. And we should never lose heart, because whenever you go look in the market, there's always good news in there with regards to money being added, technology, future products, future development, current development being added into the space. And that's why crypto is here and crypto will stay. And with that, I'm going to go back to our two panelists tonight and say thank you, Jason. Sorry, in the midst of your electricity crisis, you're still on the call. And I'm going to ask you to give us a last rundown for the evening, your last comments, and then I'm going to go to Andre, and then we're off the call. So, Jason, thank you very much. Your last remarks, your last words, last feeling with regards to this week.
Thanks, Donnie, and I'd like to congratulate everybody that's on this call, that you've been holding on through this bear market. It has been very frustrating, and a lot of people have fallen off the bus, have left crypto, saying that they've given up. But I pointed out last week where I went and I showed you the bear market cycles, how long they actually take to play out. The previous one was 1 year in 2018. And right now, the top of the previous bull market, which was November last year, we're only 3 weeks away from that previous high of last year. So we're almost at 12 months. So I personally feel that we're very close to a bottom here in the form of time. I'm not too sure where price is going to go to. At the back of my mind, I'm saying that we should be going to the 84%, but who knows? But as far as time-wise, I think we're very close to a bottom there. And I think the bottom is really going to come in once the Fed pivots and starts indicating that the interest rate hike cycle has now come to an end. And we have already seen that in Europe, that in England especially, they have now starting to pivot. There was some more news that came out today, the 10th of October, and it says that the Bank of England doubles its temporary QE bond purchases to £10 billion per day. So they've actually doubled it from today. So it just shows you what Europe is trying to do to save their currency. And I think that the Fed will possibly also pivot in the next month or two. And I think that would cause a possible reaction in the market to the upside again, and that will be our bottom. There is light at the end of the tunnel. I think we're almost at the end of this tunnel, and we'll just hang on there. Okay. So I think, yeah, that's it, Donnie.
Cool. Thank you, Jason. Well done. Andre, last words from you for this critical week in October.
Yeah, guys, like I said previously, don't get into the market once the market already started running. That's usually when we retailers, and us with the exclamation mark, we retailers get into the market once it already has begun running. So yeah, I also believe we are really close, maybe a bit sideways, but yeah, Jason, personally, I think we already saw the bottom, but yeah, this is exciting times. Have a great evening, guys.
Oh, thank you, Andre. Yes, tonight we said 10 October, critical week for crypto. And I think we've given you our thoughts on the matter. And thank you, Jason. Thank you, Andre. And thank you for everyone that's been on the call. And I want to echo what Jason has said. Congratulations to anyone on this call. Congratulations to anyone that's going to listen to this on the recording. It will be on YouTube tomorrow morning early. Congratulations to everyone listening, to everyone being on the call, because you haven't capitulated yet. You're still in the market. You're still holding on. And we know that we have money to make whenever the cycle goes up. Thank you, team. Thank you for an amazing evening. Thank you for being on the call. I sent you forth with some green candles into the week. Have a blessed one. Bye-bye. Cheers.